my friends, and welcome once again. Today, I have the opportunity to work with two different animals. The first one here is what is called a Eurymastix. Now, this is a lizard, and he lives in very hot, arid, dry deserts. Now, he's a little bit skittish today, so I will not be holding him throughout the entire story, but I did want to tell you that he inspired me to tell you about how some lizards learned to drop their tails. So I'm going to place him back in his container for right now, let him stay nice and warm, and then we'll continue our story. And thank you for your patience. So now that we've put our friend lizard away, I have with me now an eastern box turtle. Now, the reason I have these two animals today is because they reminded me of the story about how lizards learn to lose their tails. Not all lizards lose their tails, of course, but some do as a defense mechanism. And it all started a long time ago, longer now than it seems. Tortoise had gone to the market to buy some salt. Once there, since tortoises don't have any hands, he gathered up the salt block within a handkerchief, tied a rope around the block of salt, then tied it to his shell, and began to drag it home. As he was dragging it home, a lizard who had been sunning on a rock pounced upon the salt block and declared that it was now his. Tortoise guffawed and said, "How dare you? You can clearly see that the salt is tied around my shell. I'm the one dragging it to my home." Lizard said, "The law is that if it is on the ground and it can be claimed, then it is the one who claims it. So this salt is mine." The two went back and forth for a little while until finally they decided to take it to the court. Now, at the court, the judges decided that Lizard was right, but so was Tortoise. So the salt block would have to be cut into two and divided amongst the two. Once the salt was cut, Lizard quickly pounced upon the larger part of the salt underneath the handkerchief and made off with it. Poor Tortoise, still having no hands, tried to gather up as much as he could to take back home. Now, the next day, Tortoise went back to market because he needed more salt. And as he was heading to market, he came across Lizard once again, this time sleeping upon a rock, sunning the day away. And as he passed Lizard, he slowly crept up to him and then pounced upon Lizard's tail. Lizard jumped with a start and said, "Hey, get off my tail!" Tortoise said, "It is my tail now, because it is the law that if it is on the ground and can be claimed, then it is that claimer's." The two, of course, went back and forth as they had about the salt until finally they went back to court. Now, court again decided that both Tortoise and Lizard were correct. So, with that, they cut off Lizard's tail. So, at that point, that is when Lizard decided to learn how to shed its tail. And from that day forth, in case they're in any trouble or being hunted by any predators, they can pop off their tails, leave it wiggling behind, and make a clean break. And eventually, their tails will grow back. Thank you for visiting with me, my friends. Take care and have wonderful adventures.